Welcome
back, guys. Episode 7 of Flicks and Fields. We're back again. Yes. Consistency is key. We are key. We're consistent. Anyway, that was meant to be a much better thing. Didn't go that way. We live. Anyway.
This is Callum. This is Andrew.
This is me.
Welcome to Flicks and Fields.
Let's go. All right. So, go on. I like it. English is not my forte today. I like to get them.
Everybody's like, English is bad podcast.
I like to let them know us a little better.
Yeah, to be fair, that's pretty fair actually. The last couple of weeks, pretty better.
Get them a little personal with us so they know who Callum and Andrew are. Behind when the camera's shut down, when the mics go off. So anyway, Cal, how's your week this week?
Do you know what? Actually, it's been really good actually. I've started a new job in a sense. So it's nice to just, from what I've been doing the same thing for the last 2.5 years and since like February. I've been doing it and I'll push it up on more doing it now. So I'm actually going to work like really excited. So it's been a nice change.
That's the ideal. Go to work excited. No one wants to go to work excited.
It wasn't that I wasn't excited. Just like, I think of it like when you say that, I'm going to do like 110%, right? That for me personally, that last 10% is like your soul.
Yeah.
And that's your excitement.
Yeah, fair.
I would say maybe the last year or so, I've only been like 100% pushed to myself.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, you're at 110.
Yeah.
I like that.
So can't lie.
Me, my week's been pretty good.
Okay.
Obviously, over the past 2 weeks, had a 4-day weekend. We had a 4-day week.
It's not like that.
Messed me up a little bit because my body didn't know how to act.
Your body clock's
and it wasn't long enough for my body to like adjust to it.
Yeah.
It was just like long enough for my body to be like, what's going on? Like, why are we still brain not active?
Yeah,
it's 1 o'clock and my brain's not doing anything. Like
it's Monday morning, what you doing?
Yeah, like
I get that.
But you know what? I like it.
Yeah.
It was alright. I got to it, got the work done. Like, I don't think I dragged behind. That's what's my biggest fear.
Yeah, no,
I never want to be the guy that drags the team behind. Nah. So luckily, I don't think I did. If I did, and you are my team, you're watching this, don't tell me. Don't tell me. But anyway.
Innocence is bliss.
Innocence is 100% bliss. That's how I live my life.
Okay,
anyway,
cool, fair.
Anyway, into the actual episode.
Yes, okay, go on.
If you guys have any questions for us, just drop them in the comments. Yeah. If we feel like answering them, we'll do it.
We all want them.
I guess we're going to answer them.
Got it.
Anyway, so this week, I'm going to take it a bit more into your territory.
Ooh, okay.
Because obviously, we're going to do flicks this week.
Okay.
But I wanted to go, you know what, let's let Cal enjoy the flicks a bit more.
Okay, cool. So
you can probably guess.
I know this is not
probably guess.
But my flicks in the cinema sort of sense is more the horror films.
Yes.
I think because I was so deprived as a child not allowed to watch them, that I've probably taken all the energy out of it when I was older to watch it. So probably the last 8 years I've really got watching them. I've really got into them, and just the list we're making today may be a bit recency biased, only because I think the old one was like 2018. But
wow. There's so many movies before that.
No, there are so many good films before, like The Thing, Hereditary. All of them are very, very good films. It's a good film. Just it ain't on my list. So.
Well, now we're listing films. We might as well get on to our first segment.
Go on.
So first segment this week is something you guys know we love, because why not? It's top 5.
Yeah.
It's top 5.
So it's our top 5 horror films. What are our favourite horror films?
Yes. So, you want to hit with your 5?
It's been tough, you know.
Yeah.
This was much tougher than I thought it would be, because it made you think of also, 1, your favourite horror films, but 2, what is your horror? How do you rank it? Is it of scariness, jump scares, or different stuff? And then, so my 5 is going to be Malignant. So this it's a very confusing film, basically. In a sense, basically. It pushes you towards, you're thinking one way, it's going to go one way. But it's basically a woman that lives her day normal life.
Yeah.
And then you do see her have this sort of fall at the start of the film, but you think nothing of it.
Okay.
Normally. And then you see her have flashes of killing people.
Oh.
And she's so confused. She's thinking, what does this mean? And thinking, why are these events happening? But it actually comes out, these are real life events happening.
Oh. So like a psychic thing? Sort of.
There is Gabrielle is a parasite twin in the back of her head.
Oh.
A malignant.
Like a tumour kind of thing?
Yes, it's exactly. It's a tumour. It's a tumour that's the back of her head, and it's been taken over her body, basically, and bamboozles her. And then, basically, the visions that she's seen actually happens.
That's kind of cool. And
it's a very, very late reveal. Normally in horror films, you get halfway through you find out the twist.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minutes before the end. You find out that there's a big thing on the back of her head, but you don't even see it, and it basically comes out at the end. You're thinking, Jesus.
So you haven't noticed? You don't notice it the whole time, and then
No, you're probably guessing it's obviously malignant. A tumor.
Yeah.
You assume it's like a head, like a mental brain thing.
Okay.
And then when you see it, you're thinking, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
For me, because of that, the twist at the end, and I was thinking, oh Jesus. Obviously, the jump scares were quite scary, and also it was trying to figure out why she's doing it. Just from a tumor, was quite confusing. But then when you see it taking over her body, brilliant. That's my 5.
You know what? I like it. Probably not gonna watch it because I don't love horrors, but I like it. The plot sounds good. If you haven't seen it, you like horrors, check it out.
Yeah.
All right, so my 5.
This could be anything.
Yeah.
Out of all the lists we do on this, I could have literally no idea what it's gonna be.
Okay, so my 5 is The Menu.
Right.
Okay.
Go on, say what it is, and I'll say what I don't like about after. Go on.
That's fine. I liked it more because it's more psychological for me than it was.
Fair.
And I'm a sucker for a psychological movie. Because I like, even when it comes to series, I like my psychological stuff.
Yeah, no, fair.
So seeing it from an inescapable thing, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, it's not a business.
Surprise.
So seeing it as meant to be this unescapable fate.
Yeah,
they all die. But you see Anna, and what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy, something like that?
Yeah.
Che, put it here, please. Thank you.
Perfect.
See Anya Taylor-Joy escape it, which is meant to be like the inescapable. You're like, oh, she outsmarted them, because you see now this person who's meant to run the whole thing, who is the chef, is now, he lets her go, which shouldn't happen.
No, but my only thing against that film is that I think it was more, my problem was the way it was promoted. It was promoted as a horror, like a proper horror film. And they were making jump scares in the trailer. And you're thinking, my God, this is going to be a film. Yeah. And it wasn't a horror film for the first hour of the film.
Fair,
it was
them
seeing, obviously you are learning the characters. They've got the boat there. They've seen all the good things about the restaurant. Obviously, seen, all the relations to the characters. Obviously, that's the whole point of the menu. And then obviously it all changes when they realise why.
That they're actually gonna, especially when do you know when the biscuit, was it biscuit? What's the thing that was like a tortilla thing that the thing, an email got printed out on?
Oh yeah, no, newspaper.
No, it wasn't on a newspaper. It was on something edible.
Oh, I thought it was. I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah.
It's just the only thing that was right about that film was that obviously it was a massive head messy film because of, you think that can't happen, but I get that. Personally, I can understand why that's on your list, but for me, I don't count it as a horror. That's my reaction. That's why.
Fair, I'll give you that. But in terms of horrors I've like seen, that goes on there.
That's fair enough.
So the reason why I get what you mean about it wasn't crazy horror or scary.
Yeah.
That's why it sits at 5.
That's why I think it's all down to how you rank your films.
True.
If you're, like I was saying, you like the ones that mess with your head and stuff, then films won't be scary.
True.
For me personally, I like some of the jump scares a bit more than most. So obviously, it's going to range from person to person. People think, why is Malignant in the film? Because I think I'm completely wrong.
Fair.
Makes sense.
What's your 4?
So this one is actually very, very recent.
Okay.
Like it came out like 2 weeks ago. But in all fairness, me and my dad's thing is we go to cinema every time a horror film comes out, and we basically look at it, and normally we go, that could have been scarier. They should have done a bit more of this. Just because most films nowadays aren't really that scary. Fair. Because obviously everything's been done, so it's very, very tough to try something.
Really try something new, and it
is tough
because it's all done. Fair.
But this was the new film by Sydney Sweeney. I think her name is
Sydney Sweeney.
Close enough. And basically, she is a nun.
I've seen the trailer for this actually.
And I was like, really, is it going to be another paranormal one? And Jesus, and it's just like, I think I couldn't really be asked. Obviously, I'd watch it because it's a good film. Yeah. But I was like, someone's going to get possessed, they'll do the cross thing and then they'll get out of it. And that's how it is. However, this film didn't have any possession in it. Oh. And I was like, oh, wow.
I feel like usually when you see a movie about nuns, it's usually about possession.
So I've researched a bit. I'll tell you a bit about it.
Yeah, go on, tell me.
So the film is an American nun. It's Italy. Yeah. And there is the Pope basically scouted her. So again, I didn't know you could scout someone off NSU. But yeah, her church in America was disassembled, and the person immediately saw her and said, come to Italy. Okay, nice. So she did. But she's very young. People were, I was like, are you sure you want to be a nun at this? It was very against certain things. Yeah. But then there was, I had to take a vow. Basically, obviously, you can't have sex as a nun. Yeah. You can't do this. All that adultery stuff.
Rules and stuff.
That was all rules she did at the start. It was all good. And then she fell pregnant.
Like miraculous conception, or
no? Like no one knew why she was pregnant. It was very, very, very confused. and people were like she was getting really bad hate about it in the nunnery. Obviously, if you're
makes sense.
If you're taking a vow,
and then you
she gets
turn up pregnant.
She gets taken into this room. The Pope's there, a priest is there, like everyone like important is there.
Wow.
And like they're saying, I can't believe you've done this. Obviously, it's in Italian, so obviously she understands them a bit. Yeah. But she was like, I've been good, honestly, I've been good. And then obviously they get out of the machine to check. I don't know how they
ultrasound.
But they can check if she's had sex or not. I don't know how that works.
Oh, no idea.
Basically, they check basically. Obviously, if she has, then they can get rid of her, obviously. Yeah. But it comes out that she hasn't.
Oh.
And it comes as a big shot.
So like miraculous, like the Mary thing kind of, is that why
she's what it is? They think she's Mary, basically. They think the saviour has come to save them, basically.
Oh, okay.
Right, but that is what you're very confused. Thinking, how does it even happen? Right?
Yeah.
Are they going to go so unrealistic in the sense of nowadays they're going to make a baby out of nothing? But it comes out that the priest used to be a biological research priest before he became a priest.
Okay.
And he used to use the skill set that he had in biology to make a new saviour. So this nunnery had a nail that was on the cross that crucified Jesus.
Oh, right. Oh, so they literally tried to clone Jesus.
They've tried to clone Jesus. You know, I said they recruited her.
Yeah.
They've recruited hundreds of nuns across the world to try to put Jesus inside her. And obviously some of them, have all failed, basically, right?
Fair.
This is the only one that clicked.
Ah.
And
that's a weird concept.
What was the best thing about this, right, is it's far-fetched enough to be a horror, but actually thinking, that's
I get. What's it called again?
Immaculate. And it was
like they should have called it Mary.
Yeah, but then we would guess it instantly, though.
Fair.
Immaculate, you have no idea. But what for me was more surprising was at the end, though, where she finds out that they put baby inside, and that's ridiculous and crazy.
Yeah.
Her water breaks. Obviously, it goes through her pregnancy. Her water breaks, and basically she's going to kill everyone. That's her whole plan. All because they're all trying against her, and they don't care who she is, and they put baby inside her without her will. And
fair.
It's way more.
I feel like if they asked, a lot of nuns would have said, okay.
Yeah, maybe. But it was way more sadistic than I'm probably making out to. But basically, when they killed the 3 people that were doing it, the scientist, the Pope, and another, I can't remember who it was, right?
Fair.
But her water broke.
Wow.
Anyway, she called all 3 of them somehow, right? She did really well. And then she broke out of this nunnery. Basically, she couldn't get out, basically. She tried to get out before, couldn't get out. I couldn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
She gave birth.
Oh, so she had the child?
She had the child. She ripped the umbilical cord of her teeth at the end. And then because she's so scared of what they're going to... They basically praise her like she was Mary. Like she was the holy one.
Yeah.
And obviously, they think their kid is Jesus, and it's not. So that's just at the end. She was outside of the bounds of the nunnery. She got out, ripped the umbilical cord, gets a rock, bang.
What?
Yeah. Like, that, and then the film's done. That's film done.
What?
She technically kills her own baby.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, yeah, spoilers. But my God, oh my God. Yeah, because like it happens, you're thinking, like you can see what's going for her head, but you're thinking, nah,
she hits the kid over the head of a rock.
Well, you don't see the kid die.
You don't see, okay.
But you see a rock, you hear a splat, and you think, yeah, the kid's dead, mate.
Do you know what? Do you know what's so weird hearing Sydney Sweeney do that?
Yeah.
Because I went from seeing Anyone But You to Madam Web, which I still haven't watched, to this. That is such a transition.
Yeah, it was. Wow. For me, it was such a... And also, for me as well, I was a bit long about this, though.
How was she as a horror actress, though?
It was fine. But for me, what was quite impressed with this film, though, is that in horror films, you're always thinking, they're going to be there in about 4 seconds. They're going to make you jump at that precise moment. You're almost like anxiety.
You're tense the entire time, yeah.
But the bigger thing for me was that there was a scene where she goes to the father or the priest, basically the sins.
Confession.
Basically, you think the priest, something's going to jump at her from the priest because normally it's side by side, but it was like that for some reason.
That's wrong.
Anyway, she's talking about it, right? You think someone's going to be behind.
Just come through the thing,
and behind her just drags her backwards. Thinking, oh my God.
So you just tense the entire time.
But yeah, for me, that was a really good film because of...
That's a great thought. I might actually
honestly, because it's a bit scary, but honestly, the storyline thing, obviously, I know you know the story.
Yeah.
Probably a bit better if you didn't know the story. Fair. But
It's,
Very impressive.
even still, might still give it a
Yeah,
shot.
sorry. Yeah, go on.
Okay, my four.
Oh no.
Why is there so much disappointment?
I don't know.
There's so much disappointment even before I start. Okay, so my one was because see how you said, you told me that is about how it makes you feel when you leave.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
This is why.
What?
So my 4 is A Quiet Place.
Oh. Yeah.
So the reason why is my 4.
I can't even have a go for this one. This one could come up later.
Okay, so my 4. The reason is my 4. One is because one of the homies I see, and when you hear my 2 and 1,
Yeah,
you
fair.
understand why it's so low.
I'm surprised. All I'm saying is The Quiet Place is very good. On my list, that is on my list, by the just so you know.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
Incredible. It's the first film, apart from probably Jaws, probably, and that's a bit harsh, that controlled music for the person.
Oh yeah.
Like, the sound, I've never been so afraid of silence. It's been brilliant.
That's why it's on my list in the first place, but the reason it's 4. So this is going to sound really weird.
4 is low.
Hold on.
Oh.
So 5, 4, and 3 are clear classic horror movies.
Fair.
2 and 1, you're going to understand when you hear them.
Okay.
So let's count it. So let's say technically it's my 4, but it can technically be called my 2.
Okay, fair enough. That's enough.
Anyway, so the reason I love it is because I went to go see it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Don't know why I watched it in the cinema.
Yeah.
It's probably someone.
Surprised, actually. That's from 2018, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, so it was, I think someone was like, do you want to go to cinema? I was like, sure.
Fair.
Anyway, so went to go see it, and like you said, made me afraid of silence. Because I was now going in this place where it's quiet and going, nah, I don't love that. Or like, you hear, for some reason, though, you hear phantom sounds of like the clicking sound, and you're like, nah, I'm not going in there.
That creature.
And it's like, genuinely.
I think they're called the Death Angels. They're just.
Don't even want to know their name. Genuinely creeps me out so much. Loved the movie in terms of like from the way it was filmed, the way you see the music and everything. Loved it.
Yeah.
But
the thing for me
freaks me out.
With that film, had 2 of the most iconic horror film scenes pretty much ever.
What ones?
When she goes to the basement, she has to be silent. Obviously, stairs are not silent. And she steps on a nail.
Yeah.
Everyone will know that feeling.
Yeah.
If you've seen the film. You think of like standing on now, something so little and you can't make any noise at all.
My toes are curling talking about it because it's like
you can feel it go for. Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway.
That, but also technically, what is technically much worse, really. But obviously, when men, a bit different maybe. But she gets pregnant. So
yes. One more time,
she gets pregnant. She gives birth.
Yeah. But she gives birth. Yeah.
Am I an idiot?
She gets pregnant. I was like, what? Yeah, she gives birth. Yeah.
Silence.
Just keep silent. Yeah.
Emily Blunt. I think
that's her name.
The acting there is brilliant.
She's an excellent actress.
The face of silence, incredible. How you can make me scared for you in silence?
See, because it's like, going back to like classic movies before they were how they are now. So silent movies.
Yeah.
Silent movies were like, they're meant to be so enjoyable. They're meant to be so, at that time.
That's tough though.
Yeah, but
to portray
such entertainment in silence is so hard.
It's a bit like theatre.
Yeah.
That was more of the lines of when I used to do theatre when I was younger.
Yeah.
If you could control an audience by your face and your actions, instead of you speaking,
amazing,
is incredible.
It's so hard to do, and she does it so well in that movie. That's why it's on my list, and that's why I said it's technically my pseudo 2.
Okay, I understand.
Anyway,
my 3.
Your 3
is A Quiet Place.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, so that is what I think. The big thing for me though is how you are literally scared. I feel like you're almost in the film with them.
Yeah,
the way they react.
Because the cinema's silent, you're silent. And it's like everyone's sitting in silence, and you feel like you can't talk.
Yeah, 100%.
Because now everyone's so focused on being silent that you just sit there and stare at the screen.
This one sounds really weird. It makes silent loud.
Oh, 100%.
Which is crazy.
No, 100%. And if you get what that means, you get what that means.
Yeah.
But like, it makes silence have never been louder.
That is why I'm so excited for this film this year.
Which one?
The Quiet Place Day 1.
Oh, yeah.
Out this year, which is where it happened from day 1. Obviously, A Quiet Place in 2018 wasn't day 1.
Like,
it was,
way in the future.
It was basically you make a noise, you're going to get done. That's how it was. But now, this is basically day 1. I assume
from the beginning, how it first started. And you know what? As much as I said on the horrors, I might actually go watch that with you.
I wonder how, obviously, a bit different though, is that if you were there, right, you're doing everyday life, just making noise, when do you find out you can't make noise? That's for me. Obviously, if you make noise, you're dead. So how do you...
I feel like after like half the population's gone, you realise you can't make... Because someone's going to run a couple tests. Like, you might have someone running...
Who make a test?
Like, you have groups form. automatically.
Like the Suicide Squad.
Pretty much.
It's like crazy.
Like, and you see one of them be like, okay, cool, they made noise here and they realize they're attracted there, but there's people standing there.
I think it's a crazy concept, but brilliant.
It's a great concept.
That's what I've got in. So what's your 3 then?
On my 3. So my 3, it's on your list, my bad. But my 3 is Smile.
Oh,
It's on your list, ain't it?
what a dickhead.
So this is technically my pseudo one.
Go on.
There's my pseudo one,
Right.
but it's also one we're going to go watch together.
Fair. I'll talk about this later. I'm not talking about it now.
Okay.
Because then I've researched it, so that's fine.
That's
I'm
fine.
going to talk about it from
But anyway, so we don't give away too much, I'll let him talk about it later.
Why do you
made nice people terrified.
make night people?
Made nice people terrifying.
100% yeah, because if you start smiling at people, because of the best thing about this film was the trailer. Because of everyone saw it. So if you just smile at someone, they did get scared. So
Yeah.
it's so funny.
I've never, like, something that's meant to be the gesture of, like, welcoming and niceness
Brilliant. The idea is
became
brilliant.
fear in its entirety.
I think for me, that was perfect.
But I'm not going to go any deeper. So
I'll explain
Later.
And
Yes.
why I think I'll explain that why the ending is so impressive.
Please do. So what's your 2?
2. Now 2, for me, this was one of the most surprising horror films I've watched. I was going in thinking it's gonna be average, normal film. But the film I'm going to talk about is Talk to Me. So Talk to Me is where a bunch of characters basically go to that house party as teenagers, basically.
Yeah.
And there's a statue of a hand, like an arm with that hand, when you're trying to like shake someone's hand, or it's like out like that. And then if you hold that hand or shake that hand and grip it tight, you go into the underworld and you get taken over by some sort of spirit. And you come out.
I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah.
And get a minute and a half. And that's how it is. That's basically how you get a minute and a half. If you go any longer, a bit dangerous. Let me just talk you through this one quickly, right? Just because I want to understand the reason why it's so mad.
Get me to understand. Let's go.
But the context before this, right? The main character's mum basically took a lot of sleeping pills from the start. Yeah. And basically she passed away. And no one was really understood how did she die? No one was really sure, right? Yeah. Basically, you see 3 or 4 times a bunch of kids get together, hold into it, and do a minute and a half each, and just these different people take over you, and you don't know who it's going to be. Sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's not.
Oh wait, so when you say take over, you mean in the real world? Yeah.
So in the real world, they're holding the statue of the hand. They're like shaking the hand, basically. The person gets taken over, and they become a different person from.
Oh, for as long as they're holding the hand.
Yes, and basically everyone around you, you have to trust them for a minute and a half. Oh, and also there's a candle. Blow the candle out, remove the hand, you're fine. Okay. And I think it gives you some sort of high as well. That's why teenagers like doing it. Okay. Right? So, but then there is a brother, a younger brother that does, I think his older sister is there. And somehow he convinces them, let him try. Right? Okay. So obviously very, very dangerous. I think they lessen that minute and a half to a minute. And he grabs the hand, it gets taken over. And it's the main character's mum. And it throws her off completely, thinking, that's her mum. And basically the problem is, she pushes the minute. So only that, obviously there's supposed to only be a minute and a half on the hand, but they reduce it to a minute for the kid. And this main character pushed it because it was a dead mum. And she's like, talk to me. And it was bad. The kid started smashing his head under the table. The seat went back. They basically let the spirit out, which is the worst thing they could have done, basically, right? Whoa. And it was a big, from what it was, nothing really in that film happened. And you see a kid just smashing his head on the table by himself, which was crazy. But then the main thing is that this spirit makes this main girl Mia believe that her dad killed her mum, basically. She overdosed in the toilet. So she can envision in her house her dad holding the door shut while her mum was scraping at the door, showing for help. Obviously, it's a lie. Yeah. And then she thinks the spirits that take over her dad and they're trying to attack her in her mind. Oh. She kills the spirit. Or she stabs him, and it's actually her dad. Her dad goes to hospital. What? And in that fight, she's ill as well. She gets injured as well. Yeah. And everyone gets taken to hospital. And then obviously the kid that was hurt before, the brother, she gets up, puts the person in a wheelchair. She starts wheeling around. She goes, somehow, that's a bit part that makes no sense. She wheels him and her out of the hospital. Well, that's only
No one stopped them.
Yeah, that's the only bit that makes no sense. But she just walks basically into the road and gets taken out, and she does. And
You
it's
know
like, whoa.
Horror movie plots are actually really good.
Yeah, they are. I think
Like-
you got to find a certain one, but that for me, I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Horror plots are really good. I feel like I've like signed them off because of like when I was younger, I was like, I'm not gonna watch horrors.
Fair.
Also, they don't really scare me like that.
No, that's I
So-
think you got to watch a certain number of them to get part of the thing.
Fair. To become part of like the horror fandom.
Yeah. Because obviously, and also I think you got to find almost what works for you. Obviously, because some of them, I think my biggest thing is like the big shocks at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it that doesn't go back to normal. That's my biggest thing. Like, how can like normally the films when we happen, a norm happens, breaks the norm, go back to norm, basically.
So kind
I
of
like it where
when it's like
yeah.
doesn't just go
It's
back.
never
to
going to go back to normal. That's why I quite enjoy that type of stuff. So that was my
Fair.
thing.
I think I might go psychological vibes instead for mine.
well, that's fair.
I got to find a couple first.
Go on then. What's your
All right.
two?
So now you're gonna understand why I said my 5, 4, and 3 is technically my pseudo 1, 2, and 3
Fair enough.
because it's 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 aren't technically they're horror movies, but they're not technically horror movies. So
Well, to be
my
fair,
two-
I can't say anything. So far, you picked two off my list, so I can't aggravate you much.
fair. So my 2
Go on.
is Scary Movie. Now,
No.
hold on. Let me
Scary
explain.
movie.
Let me
That cannot be
explain.
a comedy.
Let me explain.
Look at that.
I know, and it's my podcast. So
That's not what you just said.
listen,
Scary movie.
listen. You know what? When you're done, let me know.
Go
When
on.
you're done, let me know. When you're done, let me know.
Go on.
You done?
Tell me why
You
that's.
done? You done? Okay, you're not done. All right.
Tell me why that's a horror film. Hit me.
You done?
Hit me.
Okay,
Hit me.
it is not. It's classed under the horror genre, but it's not a horror. And the reason I say it is because that's the first.
Did so well.
Hold on.
Go on, hit me. Go on.
So that was the first horror movie I was ever allowed. Horror.
Fair. Okay.
movie I was ever allowed to watch
Okay.
because my mom understood it wasn't technically horror, and it wasn't. I watched it. I didn't watch it in the cinema. I watched it at home.
Fair. Okay.
So it was the first introduction to like the fact that someone could get murdered on screen. They could show you.
Oh,
Despite
okay.
Despite how like stupid it is, I'm not going to sit here and give it its praise like it's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
technically, this should be like number 4, but it's my number 2
Should've
based
just
on
said Scream.
scenes. I've actually seen Screams. I could have.
No, but I can understand. So it's more like a nostalgia pick then.
Yeah.
So it's
not
just the
so much-
first film that went. He's actually.
So
dead.
yeah, in terms of
right,
best
he's
horror
dead.
and the general horror genre, it's Smile.
Fair.
So in terms of second, it's like A Quiet Place, and third, it's Menu.
That's fair.
But in terms of my own personal
That's fair.
nostalgia,
I
and how
understand
much I
that.
liked
That makes
it
sense. I get
for
that.
something in the horror genre,
Yeah.
it is Scary Movie because it was like the jokey thing, and also you had like some Marlon Wayans and Damian Wayans.
Yeah. That's fair.
Love them as actors; they're hilarious.
That's fair enough.
So like, yeah, literally. So it's like I'm seeing them in that. And it was kind of like, oh, I really like this movie. As in, I like it as a movie.
fair. No, I
and it just
understand.
happens to be in the horror genre because it's a parody of Scream.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
I understand that, but then.
So what's
Cool.
what's your one?
has been said before, but my one is Smile.
Okay.
The way it is away from the start, I feel like it's just brilliant. Let me explain almost a little bit what happens.
Yeah.
From there,
Go
right?
on.
So obviously, the smile's a curse. That's how it is basically known, right? And the film starts with there's a therapist, obviously the main character's a therapist.
Yep.
She sees a patient, and the patient kills herself in front of her while smiling, and it's like, Jesus.
It's creepy as hell.
Like, the worst thing for me in that film, right? Seeing someone dead in a film is obviously disgusting for one.
Yeah.
But two, seeing them smile
Yeah.
is messed up.
It's creepy.
And obviously, the therapist is like, nah, are you joking? Like, this makes no sense. I don't understand.
Yep.
She's looking for answers, basically, right? And the person she goes to is her ex-policeman. They look for answers, basically. That's what they're doing, right? They find out that it's a curse.
Yeah.
And that it goes back in time, where basically the only way it works is they have to kill you in front of you. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And the curse
Passes on.
attacks trauma.
Yeah. It moves on.
And the trauma of the main character is she let her mum die.
Yep.
Basically, her mum wasn't a nice person to her. She was alcoholic, and at 10, the main character was 10 years old. Mum overdosed, and she didn't call for help.
Yeah.
Mum basically she watched them, didn't call for help, and walked away. And that was her trauma, and didn't really go well for her. And since her learning about it affects her trauma, the main character Rose tried to fix the trauma. She went back to her own house and basically came to peace with what she did.
Yeah. Which should in turn technically fix it, but
yeah. So then the maddest thing is in her head, this curse turned to her mum and started attacking her in her childhood
old home, yeah,
which was crazy. And he was like, oh my god, and it turned into a monster, and it was all these different things at the end. It was crazy. But the great thing that she did technically, she lit it on fire, and then that should technically
have killed it.
But
did it?
And we all thought the curse was over.
But did it?
And then in this film, she thought it was over. So then she goes and visits the ex and says, do you know what? I'm sorry. I pushed her out of my life. I am actually really, really, really sorry, right? And then it turns out Joel was the creature.
Yeah.
And she all realises that actually she's not left the house once. And it's all in her head.
She's been in the house the whole time.
And it was crazy. And then in the real world, not in her head world, Joel actually arrived to the house because he realised where she was, I think, because he tracked her phone.
Yeah, he did.
He walks into the
house.
The house, and then he looks at her, and she kills himself in front of her.
Yep.
And it's like,
and he passes on.
And that was the film done. For me, this whole film looked like it was going to wrap up in one. That's personally because of
I didn't expect it to be in her head and come back.
Yeah,
I liked it
because it almost gave you two endings. The ending of like, oh, it's all good, all roses, don't worry about it.
Like,
and then it's like, haha, it's a horror film. No.
Literally, it was like happily ever after. Then it went wrong genre.
Because it almost, I was like, really, this how it ended. I wasn't annoyed,
but I was like, fair. Just like, I can leave the cinema and just be like, okay.
And then the best thing about this though, is the smile too.
Yeah,
the only thing I want to find out now is what is Joel's trauma.
That's true.
Yeah, so
do you know what? That could be the kind of movie that lasts forever because it can just pass someone else.
I think a lot of films now, like horror films, are like come to the end. So like Saw's pretty much done. Halloween's almost done.
So they need a new set of like sequels to go on. Ends.
But kind of that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like the sequels are pretty much finished, and also or they're like really high in numbers.
Yeah, like
so we've now got a new one. I think Smile will be Smile 2, Smile 3, Smile 4.
Scream needs to end.
We'll see.
There's been so many.
Yeah, fair.
They even brought the OGs back. But anyway, so my one is, once again, it's kind of like how I said scary nostalgia thing to me. Another one we watched together, The Blackening. So now, okay. So it gave a very good, like, classic, in a forest.
It's a horror film. Yeah.
It's a horror film.
That's a better answer than
it's better than, it's better. But, so the reason I liked it, if you haven't seen it, Jay, put a poster of it here. Please.
It was literally.
And the tagline is literally, all of us can't die first. And if you haven't guessed by the title, all the characters are black. So obviously you have the classic, it's like you have the classic stereotype that black people in the movie die first.
But it made it interesting though.
Because it's like, how are you gonna do it if you made that the tagline already?
Yeah.
And then how are you gonna now kill them off to make it a horror? The way they did it was like,
they made it a game. Made it quite, to be fair to you, I thought it was going to take the mick out of every horror film.
Yeah.
Like I assumed a girl was there was going to be different parodies. Yeah. Obviously, and all of them were going to last at the end. I didn't realise it would be an all-black cast. I thought they were going to kill a few of white cast members maybe before.
Honestly, when I first heard it, I thought they were going to switch it.
That's what I thought
the white person dies first. But I was like, you know what? Fair play.
They did well though, because there was basically a room in the cabin they did.
Yeah.
And they played a game, and that was
that locked game in the room, and it was like a classic. Like what's the movie where that guy has like cornflakes and he rides on like that little tricycle?
No, Saw. That is Saw.
Yeah, Saw. So yeah, it's kind of like that where the TV comes on and you don't know something. There's just something talking to you, and you have to complete this task. If you don't do it, then obviously something bad happens.
It is very much like Saw actually. Because it gave you tasks, got complete, obviously, but that. It wasn't as brutal as Saw.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's a lot of movies as brutal as Saw.
On Saw quickly, right?
Yeah.
Saw has quite a bad rep sometimes, right? Everyone says the first two Saw. What did I say?
Saw has a bad rep.
I was right, yeah. The first two Saws are bad rep. Apart from the first... No, let's start again. I was completely wrong. In general, Saw's got quite a bad rep because of the amount of films there are. The first two films were good.
Yep.
And then from 3 to 9, it was just... brutal for literally, there was no reason.
Do you know what? Every trailer or every clip I saw was like, I feel like this is excessive.
But Saw 10 or Saw X last year was the first one I can remember there being an actual storyline of why he's doing it. And it made sense why these people that were in the game weren't very nice. They were there for a reason. They played the master because he was ill, and it was brilliant.
Fair. I knew about that one. Yeah.
And for me, it was brilliant. And then obviously the extreme of what they did was I was like, oh, that's a bit much. But it almost made it make sense. That's what my biggest problem with Saw was like, wow, we're getting it gory, but there was literally no point. Like you just got just a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Can I give you an honorable mention that just comes to my head as we're talking? So this one freaks me out. I didn't watch it in its entirety because it made me realize real life could happen. Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like
that has ruined everyone's driving experience in the world. If you ever drive behind someone
driving logs
or anything,
literally, if you ever seen it,
like if I'm driving the motorway, I'm going off. I'm either coming off or going to the next lane.
Promise you, I can't happen. And it made me. So it was like everyday stuff. Because
that is up there with the now in person. Of like the horror film scenes. So when she puts her foot through the nail, just stay silent. Everyone goes, ooh.
Yeah.
And the exact same thing.
The whole body just tenses.
Final Destination goes straight for the windscreen.
There's so many scenes like it that have ruined everyday life for you because you're now like, what if I'm in a place that does like the gymnastics one?
Oh my god.
And it's like, what if I'm in a gymnastics gym and so I see that it's just ruined it. Anyway, that's why I had to bring up because Final Destination.
Yeah, brilliant. That that for person should be high on your list.
It wasn't on my list because I just thought
I'm saying it should be on your list.
Oh, 100% would be. If anything, I'll get rid of Scary Movie.
Yeah, but I think it's more like, especially in these films, it's how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
No one can take that away from you. Yes, Scary Movie was a bit of a shock, if I'm being honest with you, on a Scary Movie. But then your reason made sense. When it's the first almost horror film you watch that you're allowed, and it's the first time you saw someone get murdered. That's fine. That, again, is valid. It's all down to opinion, personally.
Fair. Now, we've done films, and obviously every other episode we like to just inject a little bit of the opposite.
A bit of spice.
A little bit of spice. So this week, obviously, if you haven't realised, we do it opposite, but this week we've got you coming out of our field focus.
Field focus,
I got it right. I thought I was going to say Flicks Focus. Anyway.
Every time we get it wrong.
Anyway, so Cal, hit me with today's field focus.
It's a bit of both, actually, but the main topic is basketball.
Okay.
That's the main one, right? And it came out early today that Bronny James is going to declare for the draft this year.
Really?
And there was speculation last week or start of this week that he was going to transfer to another college. And end it there. That's what everyone thought.
He's done so well where he is now, though.
He did really well. Then obviously he had the heart problems. He collapsed, and obviously fair play to him. He come back. They've done well. He's come back and played 25 matches, and as much as I want him to do good, the name is dragging him to the top. Personally.
So you think if he wasn't James
in 25 matches, how many points do you think he's averaged?
Averaged?
Yep.
15, 20 points, 25 points?
Less.
Yeah. 20 points?
Less.
10 points? Less than 10 points? 7 points?
Less.
Oh, Bronny James!
Right.
You know what? I can't get anywhere. 2 points. Let's go there.
4 points.
Oh my God.
He's in 25 matches with his LeBron watching on the sidelines. He's averaged 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2 assists. However,
you wouldn't even be D1 with those stats.
However, he has played a small amount of games.
25. That's enough to get.
But don't forget the minutes, though. Don't forget.
Fair.
I think it's like, obviously, I think he's a good player. Obviously, that's what he is. The biggest thing about this, though, is the quotes that Bron has said before.
Okay, like
LeBron
what?
James has said, I need to be on the floor with my boy. I've got to be on the floor with Bronny. This was a few years ago, but he has said this, right?
So you think they're dragging him so he can achieve the goal?
So I think LeBron really wants to play with Bronny.
Yeah,
that's his goal, right? He's also said before, this was 2 years ago, obviously, but this was almost like a message to the NBA, really. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I will do whatever it takes to play with my son for a year. It's not about the money for that point.
You know, he has enough money. He doesn't need it.
And for this season, LeBron James can be a free agent at the end of the 23-24 season.
So this is what Bronny declaring.
To go. So, now, it is the Bronny James, personally, isn't even, I don't think, a first-round prospect, personally.
Probably not.
The way if he was called John Smith, he'd probably
he probably would have. Maybe not even second
No one
round.
would tell him to declare for the draft this year.
No
they would
chance.
say, wait a year, play a year in college, and then come. That's
Build
what
up
they
your
would
stats.
say. But he's declared. But now, where do you think Bronny would get drafted if it confirms 2-for-1 Bron comes with you?
Anywhere will take them if they got Bron.
But then I would say, what risk do you do though? Obviously, you got the top prospect. Obviously, you got the lottery. Do you take?
You're only gonna have Bron for a year.
That's what I'm saying.
And now you got to deal with Bronny for the rest. But what? Okay, so I think it depends.
The risk is right.
What team will give him the best development? What team is going? Because he can't go GSW because there are too many powerhouse. You need a team like a.
No, but
you need to do basically what they did for Zion.
No, but the thing that's tough, right, is that the team has to be in the debate of, do I want to get a top 14 player, or obviously a top player in the draft, and build with that, or do I take the risk of getting a bum, sort of maybe getting someone that's okay, or could be great, you're not really sure.
See, but
I get LeBron for a year. It is
first of all, I think having LeBron play with Bronny and train with Bronny is going to push him because Bronny has potential. He has the potential to be good, but he just hasn't shown it. And I think if you put him on a team in the NBA with his dad next to him, there's no chance when he sees how hard his dad's putting in that work,
maybe
he's not going to improve in a year.
It's tough. Personally, if any of the top 14 teams take him, I think it's outrageous.
The fact they get
they're in, obviously, the reason why they're in the draft in the first place, they're not good enough.
Fair.
The only team maybe that would bite the bullet is the Spurs. They've got Victor Wembanyama already.
Fair.
If they get Bron and Wembanyama, that's a big two. And then basically
just dominate everywhere.
And that's when you have to trade for your entire team basically to get a good starting eight.
Yeah. You get rid of your whole team and start again. Like
on that, where would you think Bronny gets done then? Do you think, because obviously once it's past the top 14 worst teams in the league, then it becomes then who chooses him? Because obviously you're obviously the top 30 teams have got picked, right? Between the 13, obviously probably let's say the team that wins it, let's say Celtics win.
In another universe, but okay.
30, obviously the Lakers, sorry, the Celtics at 30th pick and then obviously the 15th pick. That's fair, right? What number I think that's where he'll go. Well,
you think Bron will be 15 onwards?
I think that's why. But I think the top 14 take the risk of what their player is, and then the rest, obviously, they're a better team as well. Don't forget.
True.
So obviously, if you get kicked out in the first round, let's say the Cavs kicked out in the first round, they get Bronny and then take LeBron back home.
Fair.
But then it all depends on how you fall in the order. I think he probably goes around 2021, probably.
You think it's that low?
That's high.
Do you know what?
LeBron's only a year. You've got to basically...
but having LeBron on your team has you, first of all, would push all your other players to do better. Maybe. Because you have King Bron.
You have no idea how much he can play. This year, he's done so well in LA, right? Sometimes he just backpacks and drops 40 for like a one night. But he's 40. He should be doing this.
He's an enigma on himself.
The thing is, though, next season, if he goes down to like 15, 10 points a game, fair.
I would take it.
But that's why.
Also, the legacy of Bron
risk is massive.
Also, do you know what? I personally think if this is his last year before he calls it quits.
Go championships. Basically, if you're drafting Bronny and LeBron, you've got to go in hard.
Yeah.
That basically means any young assets on your team, you're basically going to trade them and go for now.
Probably. Do you know what? Hold on. So I personally think purely for his legacy, he might try to go back to the Cavs. So the Cavs he might talk to the Cavs and be like, listen, or he might go back to Heat in general.
The tough thing is that you have no idea that there's no. The Cavs can say yes, we'll take Bronny, but then that basically means there's 20 spots before he gets taken. Or I don't know. I don't know what in the league where that's why this is tough because obviously Bron doesn't guarantee signing with you. There's no guarantee either. Imagine that though.
Think about it. Look at the quotes you just read.
Yeah,
he wants to play.
They were a few years ago. I know, but you're banking on it. It's tough. And obviously, I don't believe this can technically happen.
What do you mean?
Technically against the rules, where you're saying if you draft this person, I'll do this for you.
No. Okay, that is. But if Bronny that's probably why he hasn't tweeted anything saying I want to play where Bronny plays because years ago he said it. But if Bronny just gets drafted naturally. LeBron might be a free agent and he'll go to technically if he goes into conversations with the team that drafts Bronny, that's not illegal. No. He can do that. Yeah. So he might he'll just wait till Bronny gets drafted because obviously the teams have conversations with the players prior. So he can just wait till Bronny gets drafted and that's what they're trying to leverage Bron anyway.
The best outcome really for the league, I don't know for the league, but for Bron really, he gets drafted to the Lakers. And then
you just stay there, fair.
So on that, that's what it's the discussion. That's out there now. We'll probably, I would say, in the next few weeks or even by the draft, we'll know what the NBA is thinking then. Mm-hmm. But I've got to talk about this. It is incredible.
What are you going to talk about?
Victor Wembanyama. Oh my God.
Has he got a nickname yet?
No, he doesn't actually.
Because obviously we have Giannis, we've got the Greek Freak, we've got James, we've got King James.
He'll get one. Don't worry.
He's definitely going to get one. That's what obviously
so against the Knicks in the overtime.
Well, how many he dropped?
He dropped 40.
Oh.
20 rebounds.
Oh.
10 assists. 10 blocks.
Oh.
And 6 steals.
Damn.
He almost got 5 by 5. So he did a 5 by 5 by like nothing, basically. Yeah. Right? Like it's nothing.
Wemby.
He was 4 steals away from doing I actually know it's probably when you do 10 in 5.
I don't know if it has a name.
Yeah, but anyway.
But Wemby. Thing is, do you know what?
So that's made me think.
Was, let me talk for a second. Wemby was one of my biggest, if you haven't clocked who Wemby is Wembanyama. But anyway.
Unreal.
He's how 7'2"?
He's 7'3", 7'3", I think, right?
I don't even know his wingspan. All I know is he's massive. But the thing is, my biggest fear for him was that he was going to do a Zion. He was going to be a first round out.
He's come back though.
Yeah, he's come back. It's true. But that's because he was forced to. But I thought
he got bullied.
Easily.
Just to start up, right? Zion Williamson, the only reason he's lost weight
is in his contract.
No, his teammates bullied him. That's what he said. He said his teammates bullied him, saying that he called him fat or chubby or.
Do you know? No, apparently he's in his contract now. He can't exceed a certain weight now.
Yeah, but that he's kind of went against it. Basically, they start saying to him, if I throw that up, right, I think it's a cheeseburger. Like, imagine people.
No.
Yeah, he did that. No.
Do you know what? That's ridiculous.
But it's not. It worked.
It worked.
The weight, so
but so that was my biggest fear, that Wemby was going to be another Zion, where it was going to be you get first round drafted, first round pick.
Yeah.
But you get into the league and you just crumble.
Yeah.
And you go you don't meet the expectations.
Yeah.
Because when Zion was coming, people got tattoos of Zion going. Was it Spurs? Was it
Pelicans?
Pelicans, yeah. People got tattoos of thinking he was going to go there, but life.
Zion, the biggest thing about him, he lost his bounce. That's the biggest thing.
He was so bouncy. He was just up there.
He was a trampoline. With Victor Wembanyama, the craziest thing is he played. No, but one, the height, but two, he played like Kyrie Irving or a guard.
Yeah, he played like a guard.
7'3".
Yeah, what kind of guard do you know is 7'3"?
I can't have made that on the NBA 2K.
It doesn't make sense. The build is completely wrong.
Yeah.
But he's living proof it can happen.
The best thing I've ever seen him do, right, is he took a free, missed it, and then got the rebound and scored.
That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be able to do that. Because he shoots frees like he's Curry, but goes rebounds like he's I don't even know.
Rodman.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Literally. Right. He just it's ridiculous. But yeah.
On this, right, obviously this is probably one of the best games ever, really, NBA.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me what is more impressive. Is this more impressive than Wemby or not? I've got about 10 options. Say yes or no, right?
Okay.
We'll go for the list, actually.
Okay.
You say yes or no, then we'll go to the next one.
All right.
So Wemby got 40 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 6 steals, 10 blocks.
Yep.
Russell Westbrook had a game of 58 points, 21 rebounds, 24 assists, 8 steals and 4 blocks.
You know, I think that's better.
No, that's fair. Is that better than LeBron having 61 points, 20 rebounds, 19 assists, 7 steals, 5 blocks? So a bit more.
Bron's a little better.
Yeah, it's a close stat line.
It's a close stat.
But then is it more impressive that a point guard did that?
Oh, fair. You know what? I think Westbrook's more impressive. If it's a point guard doing that.
So Westbrook got 58 points, 21 rebounds, 24 assists as well.
The 24 assists is like
incredible.
Yeah. As a PG.
Then is this by Shaq better? 61 points, 28 rebounds, 10 assists, 5 steals, 15 blocks.
From Shaq? Amazing.
Yeah, but then is Westbrook better than that? That's why it's tough. With 58 points, it's tough.
Do you know what? I might still give it to Westbrook. Shaq is incredible as a player, but I might give it to Westbrook. This probably beats it. Embiid got 70 points, 22 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, 7 blocks. Yeah, that does beat it.
That's crazy.
That does beat it.
But then this is very similar, but in completely different generations.
Okay.
Oscar Robinson dropped 71 points, 24 rebounds, 11 assists, 7 steals, and 12 blocks.
You know what?
That pretty much beats in every aspect apart from assists.
Hold on. I might give it to Embiid still.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I feel like, and don't hate me for this, I feel the league's a little harder now.
Fair. Well,
than it was then.
They're not facing plumbers, are they? That's just fair.
So I feel like to put those numbers up now, when of how big it is and how the quality of play, incredible. But yeah, so
another big game this season. So obviously, this Embiid was this season.
Yeah.
Another this season was Luka Doncic.
Okay, how many people?
73 points, 21 rebounds, 20 assists, 5 steals, 4 blocks.
Luka might scrape it.
Yeah, 20 probably. Yeah.
Luka might scrape it.
And then I think this one beats it, I think. Kobe, he's 81 game. 81 points, 16 rebounds.
You know what?
17 assists.
All you had to say was his 81. Yeah, he beats it.
And then this one, I find tough, but...
Who is it?
Walt Chamberlain, 100 game points. 100 game. That's...
Can I just give him a draw?
No.
Okay, what's the rest of his stats? 100 game points.
55 rebounds. 21 assists.
It's ridiculous.
But then, I feel like we've never seen it in real life. We all watched Kobe hit that, and you're thinking, wow.
That was...
Personally, I don't think he could beat Mamba. I know it's tough. I don't...
Do you know what? Black Mamba might scrape it.
Yeah.
Do you know what everyone kind of... Black Mamba has it?
Mamba.
That Kobe mentality. That Mamba mentality.
The mentality of that is... I wish I had that. But obviously I feel like I've got some of it, but not to that extent.
I feel like I'm like a rattlesnake mentality.
If you ever heard him say his workout routines...
It's ridiculous. It's inhuman.
He said he wakes up... Trains at 4 a.m. till 6 a.m. Then he has a break. Then his team arrives at 7 a.m. to do... does 7 till 10. Then his team arrives. So even before his team...
He's been working for 3 hours, yeah.
He's done 2 training sessions.
Yeah.
Then he does from 10 to midday and then midday to 4. That's what his team does. And then he stays extra, does 2 extra shifts and then he goes to sleep. And in a lifetime, he's done 4 more training sessions a day.
Okay, so obviously we've done our field focus.
Yeah.
We love a bit of field focus.
You know that, yeah.
Bringing it back to the flick side because I love a good I love a good movie. See, when I was looking through the horror stuff, I realized there's so many movies out there that should be horror. Like they have the potential to be horrors.
They are great horror films.
To be a great, the plot is there.
I think some people say that, and I think that's probably true.
Because when I've seen other movies, I'll be like, you know what? If you had a bit more gore to this, and as much as I don't like horror movies, as much as I don't love horror movies, I still enjoy I'll be like, this could be if you're a little more violent here, the scene would hit harder.
Always wanted more violence.
That doesn't sound great. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think on that sort of note, quickly, there's definitely films out there, especially nowadays, like 15s, that should just be 18s.
Oh, 100%.
The main one for me, really, that annoyed me more than anything else. Actually, there's 2 really horror films. One was last year with Megan. Last year, probably one of the best concepts I've had in the last couple of years, I would say, that come out.
I didn't see it.
Basically, it's just like a doll, a real life doll, AI doll, turns and just kills everyone.
Oh. But you
don't see it.
No. What's the point?
She goes in an elevator with 2 guys, comes out of the elevator and they're dead.
What's the point?
Yeah, that was annoying. And then also that one, which I was really excited for, Friday Nights at Freddy's. I thought that was going to be
that not horror?
Well, it's a family horror. How that's even the thing? I have no idea.
It was terrible.
So bad. But how scared we were as kids playing that game, I think it guaranteed it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
Like so much time, I'm actually going to be so scared. I wanted that film to scare the living daylights out of me to even reach the levels of what the game was.
Fair. But see how you're talking about family horrors?
Yeah.
No.
That is what I was just trying to think of. But you're saying more.
So
what normal films should be horror films?
So now, that's a great way to get into this. So I'll take this one first.
Go ahead. What's first?
So my first one, I'm not ranking them, they're just 3 I like.
Yeah, first.
So we're doing 3 movies that should be horror movies.
Yeah.
My first one, Jurassic Park.
Oh.
So family movies.
That would bang!
Family movies. So Jurassic Park actually was based on a book first.
Yeah, fair.
So it's based on a book, which is apparently a lot scarier than the actual movie. But because to sell more tickets and make more people go and watch it, they turned it into a family-friendly movie.
People. Yeah, I'm there.
First of all, in what world is that family movie? Literally, I remember the first time I ever watched it properly, I was with my mum in my old house.
Yeah, fair.
She jumped. I'm pretty sure her head nearly hit the ceiling because she jumped so high when the woman, the little girl's foot nearly got bit by the dinosaur.
Yeah,
that is pure. There's so many. There's so many scenes that had the potential to be horror in that movie that it had to come out. The second I saw it, I was like, that.
Great. That's a great
family movie
shout.
that needs to be horror.
Great first shout.
Amazing as a horror.
For me...
What's your first one?
The first one, I think... What do I think is perfect? Snow White. Snow White has to be.
You know what?
It has to be. Only because...
You know what? Fair play.
Because you think of it as so... But it could be any Disney film, really. You could make it into a great horror film. But Disney is very quite dark, actually.
Oh, yeah. For you guys who've never heard the real stories of Disney, search it up.
Proper dark.
The real stories are so dark.
But I think with the Snow White thinking, right, she's a young girl, run away from home, and she's met 7 little people. And they're all like, that in itself is not very good. They invited her into their home.
There's so many potential French horror.
Sleepy, Doppet, mate, they could be doing her.
Yeah. There's so much. They could literally be holding a hostage.
And also then you could have so much fun. Like, you could also make it a bit like Saw. You could be like doing it one-on-one.
They could, because obviously they are
the job's going to be crazy.
They're dwarves. They could have a vendetta against humans because maybe they were the original inhabitants.
Fair.
So they take in people who seem lost.
Yes.
Kill them. There's so much potential for how many different ways to go.
I would watch that film tomorrow. Love that.
You know what? When the IP's over, same thing with, if you guys haven't seen it, we're not going to go deep into this, but the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. The fact they're turning these into horrors, they could do the same thing.
If you ever want to get ruined, Child of Ruin, right?
That's why
watch the first 3 minutes of that film. They basically say to you that Christopher Robin just left them and they went, nah, mate, the world's ruined. And they just killed them. And it's like, what the hell?
Crazy.
But yeah, so there's going to be a whole certain universe. So they basically took our idea.
Pretty much, like thieves, pay us.
I can't believe
So yeah, same way like they're doing that. When the IP runs out, when the copyright runs out for Snow White, you never know, they could turn into that.
That's scary.
If you heard it here first, we want money.
That was our idea.
Pay us.
My idea.
So anyway, my next one is actually is a movie I actually love. In terms of movies I love in general, I love this movie.
Go on.
But when I was searching this up, I saw a video about someone talking about this. I was like, I like it.
Okay.
Passengers. So Jennifer Lawrence and Chris, what's his name?
Oh, he's everything.
Chris Pratt. Thanks. So Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
So not an alien vibe.
No, not alien vibe. So think about it. Yeah. I'll explain the movie just in its plot without the title. A woman, a writer. I'll go from Jennifer Lawrence's perspective. That's where I saw it. A woman, she's a writer. Yeah. She makes the hard decisions of her life to leave her friends and family who will die on Earth to go live on another planet, cultivate that planet, teach them about stuff. She now...
That's such a hard decision, though.
100%. So she now wakes up in a pod that is meant to open 100 years after.
Yeah.
But she wakes up in this pod expecting to be on this new planet, this new civilization. But it's actually, all she finds is one solitary man who says she's in love with her based on videos he saw of her on a random monitor and wants to spend the rest of his life with her. Now...
that's actually really weird, actually. So, we've always accepted this film to be really cute.
Yeah,
that's so good, actually.
But if you talk from Chris Pratt's perspective, he literally saw a video of this woman, a picture of this woman, said, I'm in love with her. He basically said, I'm going to kill you. Because he basically killed her by waking her up. Because there's no way she can go back in the pod.
No.
So he decided, I'm going to learn about these pods. I'm going to wake this woman up, essentially killing her, forcing my solitude on her. Yeah. And now she's going to... He's killed her. Because she didn't... Obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, they don't survive in the end because obviously they aren't immortal. Yeah. So he basically lived their life on this ship and it's...
Yeah, you could even make him to like a stalker.
Yeah.
Like he knew him before the ship.
So he's explored the ship. He now follows her. Has found a way to... There's so many ways you could turn it into a horror.
Like all the running around and where you are.
She could try to escape. He could hunt her down. He could end up trying to force Stockholm Syndrome her into falling in love with him. Yeah, there's so many ways you could take it. That was my next one.
Like that.
I loved it. Plot-wise.
Mine now, it's a bit of an outside shot. But I saw it, I was like, personally, I think it's going to be...
Okay.
The Truman Show.
Ooh. Do you know what? That is a great show.
Yeah.
Because
the mental game was
I did my entire GCSE thing on the Truman Show. Yeah. Learn about Truman. Have you ever heard of Truman Show syndrome?
No. So
that movie created its own syndrome that people actually have. It's a syndrome where people believe they are living in a simulation in a TV show. Fair. They believe they are in the Truman Show.
At least once a year, I think it is.
See, everyone's thought about it once. But anyway, talk about your plot. Talk about how it goes from Truman Show to horror.
Talk about that. That's the same thing about the bucket list. Supposedly, the bucket list was never a thing until the film.
Oh.
Again, fact check me here, but I think I'm right. Which seems crazy to think about. But yeah, I cool. That's fine. We'll get back.
Sorry, that's throwing my whole brain off.
If I'm right, mental. If not, I'm just stupid.
Fair.
But
anyway,
the plot, I was thinking of like a man slowly starts to realise his life isn't perfect, and the town starts television, and then no one is left alone on his own. And I think you could make it way more into a horror film. You know, when he learns certain things are like the same, or he almost doesn't. He counts the bike, the car. And then I think you could even go more about when he goes in the water, looks at the sky, looks at the cameras. I think all of that, you can make it into almost like a game.
Like a psychological thriller thing.
Like Saw.
Saw is such a good premise that it relates back to so many stuff.
Yeah, fair.
But like, so kind of like a psychological...
Or then you basically make his family get different diseases, or start hurting him, or anything. So I think it's just like...
Do you know what?
Brutal.
Fair.
Brutal.
That will mess you up in the mind.
Oh,
for anyone who experiences Truman syndrome, it will mess them up as well. Because now they start thinking, are they going to attack me at some point?
Yeah, fair. Go on.
But yeah,
Give me three.
My last one, which I like because
it's psychotic though.
Yeah, it makes us seem so crazy to think about movies like this, but it's the premise of this episode, so we had to. Let's get a little dark.
Exactly. Anyway, no, we're right.
So my third one is The Matrix. So similar to Truman Show, but more dystopian future vibes.
Yeah.
Obviously, he learns his entire life is a lie, and that he's actually living in the Matrix.
Way more.
Brutal. But now,
that individual horror.
And the thing is, they're actually being hunted for knowing the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you've ever seen how they start, like the aliens, have you ever seen them? They're so creepy.
Yeah.
And they actually start manufacturing humans as batteries for their own ships and stuff like that. So it's like, if you turn that into a horror.
Easy horror film.
Easily a horror film.
I agree.
Now Neo is no longer just dodging bullets. He's now dodging aliens. He's dodging swords. He's dodging everything because he now his entire life's a lie. Yeah. He now has to escape.
Love that.
He's in the Matrix.
Love that.
And they are hunting him.
That works. That list, 1,000 times better.
But yeah, honestly.
So my one hit 3. It's a bit an out there one.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think he's already a bit weird, so it might work.
Okay.
So mine is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Why?
Because, right?
You know what? All the others you said, I can't understand it.
Children get a tour of the factory and learn that their golden ticket is more than they're bargained for and not what they expected. Basically, just make Willy Wonka a psycho. Again, a bit like Psycho.
Yeah.
Basically, Willy Wonka is that person. He's making it seem all good, and basically all these equipment and stuff basically kill the kids.
You know, I get it.
All kid torture. The Oompa Loompas are previous kids. He's killed and stuff, or messed them up and just made them change and stuff.
Oh, okay. You sold me with that part. I was on the fence, and then pull apart, you sold me.
Yeah, and is that chocolate actually chocolate?
Rivers of blood.
Tastes lovely, nice and sweet.
I was about to clap for the Rivers of Blood thing. I'm not going to do that now.
But you got to go psychotic though.
I feel like you can make any movie horror if you just make the main character.
To be fair, I think that's right. You could probably tell me any movie you make. Like I would love to see Toy Story. Figure that out.
Oh yeah,
would be incredible.
If the toys actually they knew they could hide.
Do you know what I would love to see? Really? Star Wars. Like make Darth Vader win everything and just be that horror. Just making the big bad.
That would have ended the franchise in one movie.
No, it would. I don't know. Other
what's the nicest movie out there? Like you could think of?
Cars.
Moana.
Oh.
Maui just actually isn't as nice a god you think.
Maui's not.
Just kills everyone. Like he decides.
Like hella.
he decides the world is mine. Like we trapped.
Just to be clear, that makes no sense, right?
What?
He says it is all the phenomenons, right?
Yeah.
Like so, the tsunamis, earthquakes.
He created them.
Why?
Eventuality. He created the things, and that's just a byproduct.
That seems dodge.
It's byproducts.
Fair.
But anyway, this was our list. I think my list is better than yours, not gonna lie.
Nah, Willy Wonka's better than me. No.
Anyway.
But my first is better than yours, so...
Okay,
one or.
1-0, fine, 1-0. 1-0?
1-0.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming to FlicksnFields episode 7.
Yes.
It's been amazing. I've explored a new genre. Wasn't into before.
Yeah,
I like it.
It can't be horror. Let us know if we're wrong, though, because you probably think putting a scary movie in a list is wrong. But again,
it was perfectly right.
You're never me for going too soon, 2 weeks.
Fair. Give us your list. Let us know in the comments. Give us your list.
Obviously,
hit us with a like and a follow. Subscribe.
Yes. Do the stuff that
follow. Deal with get to know us.
Come on, yeah.
Wait for episode 8
If
with
you want
us.
anything to know about us, let us know, and we can do it for you. Let us know, yeah?
Anyway,
Thank you
guys,
for
thank you so
watching.
much. We're out.
Peace.